Welcome to our SAP Signavio webcast series. We have 5 episodes lined up for you to provide an entire overview of all the things you can do with SAP Signavio. And today we have 3 experts available to you to provide all the insights and answer all your questions. First, we have Manja Kuchel, Senior Director, Product Marketing from SAP Signavio Suite. And we have Alexandra Durskite, Vice President, Strategic Community Engagement from SAP Signavio. And we have Carsten Puschke, Director, Product Management for the Intelligent Enterprise. I will share their email addresses in the chat while Manja is providing you the overview of SAP Signavio. And with this, Manja, over to you.
So hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you at. Give me 1 second to share my screen and presentation. I hope you can hear us fine. And we are entering 1 step back today with Get to Grips with SAP Signavio and then how to accelerate and secure IT transformations. We're going to talk a little bit about continuous business process transformation and why it matters to actually do it continuously and not just talk about it. And I have 2 great specialists with me, as you heard before, Carsten and Alexandra. Both have many years on their on their chaps of experience within BTP or business process management. So we're going to share some insights today. We're going to share some approaches on how you actually get your transformation going. And we hope to offer some things that you don't know so far. And, 1 question, and ignore or not ignore, but try to put aside everything we tell you in this webcast. There's 2 very important questions that you should be able to answer by the end of today's session. First of all is, which transformation journey are you on? And this means, like, is this really an IT transformation? And most of the people say, like, oh yeah, I'm just transforming my IT systems. But then in the end, they're still touching processes behind it. They're touching the way they do business behind it. So, you really need to get to the core of what are you trying to achieve. And then as a second step, define when would you consider your transformation successful? Because only when you know your absolute goal and where you're going, how you get there, how much time do you want to spend, how many resources do you want to invest into your transformation, you can actually track things being successful or not successful. And SAP Signavio is offering you a way to track this. And more importantly, it's offering you a way to kind of like get your IT transformation specifically for S4 transformations or SAP related system transformations more efficiently and more structured. So looking into what we're trying to achieve today, we have this little nice half moon or half cake, depending on where your sweet tooth is. And we're trying to give you a little bit of an overview of how Signavio helps customers to achieve what we as SAP trying to achieve. So first of all, the foundation for everything is the business technology platform. And that being, on top of that is our cloud ERP. And then we have all industry specific and sustainable core content and services. And there's many more layers on top of this. And then as the ribbon on the horizon, you see the end-to-end business process. And this is where Signavio comes into place, where everything comes together. But before I tell you my half knowledge, I'm going to hand over to Carsten as the expert for BTP. The BTP translates to Business Technology Platform, giving you a little bit of an overview of what is BTP and where does Signavio live within it, how is everything structured? And now I stop talking for a second, and because you just let me know when you want to go on the next slide.
All right, I'm ready. So 2 steps back. And as there was mentioned that I'm in charge for the product management, intelligent enterprise kind of things, it's a bit more holistic than only focusing on the BTP. So our team that I'm a part of is closely working together then with the colleagues who are in charge of the applications that are running on top of BTP. So we try to holistically keep these things together. As I said, 2 steps back. We've acquired years, decades ago, quite a lot of companies. So many companies, big players, think about Gigia, Customer Data Cloud, think about Kalidos Cloud, think about SuccessFactors, Fieldglass, Ariba, Concur. So quite a lot, if not somehow the majority of our portfolio is there because of acquisitions. And then obviously what it goes together with is in a first step, heterogeneity in terms of any kind of things of a solution stack / landscape, where you have different data models, where you have different UIs, where you do not have out-of-the-box integrations, where you need to align on master data, and also where different security and identity management aspects are coming into play, which we at the minimum 2 years, if not longer, back in time, really made it an explicit project, an intelligence enterprise strategy going together with our integration plan for the cloud. And where we said we put explicitly capacities and dedicated workforces into these integration and harmonization aspects, not because we internally were aware of them, also because of, and that's always the driver, you guys as customers and partners said, hey, it's good that you provide each and everything for us, but it's so fragmented. Could you please improve what you have now? Because of that fragmentation. So we listened carefully to your demands and now brought up this integration strategy. And here, these 5 boxes are somehow trying to holistically describe what we would like and what we are still gonna improve over the time. Manya, if you could go to the next one. And here is again our beloved half moon kind of picture where we usually always start the introduction of the integration strategy. And this is now a bit more specific. If you look into the top of the picture where we have then the end-to-end business processes divided into 4 mega processes that we are actually talking about, and more to come. But let's go and start from the bottom. There is this business technology platform, and business technology platform should really be the platform for each and every solution stack, line of business, as we call it internally, like SuccessFactors, of course, cloud ERP in the center, which is S4, spend management equals to Ariba, customer relationship management, these kind of things. And where we are now explicitly, and this is the message that this picture should transmission, is the better integration, the harmonized portfolio that we're gonna offer. As the end, and at this point in time, very important, Signavio can only offer integrated end-to-end business processes after we've done all these kind of integration things. You would even fail, or you would extend or enlarge your project if you would have to go into manual aspects, integrating X with Y on a manual kind of thing. So therefore, we try to also foster the Signavio story by doing a lot of work in the background, integrating the whole portfolio for you as customers, finally providing them end-to-end business processes. Final statement here is the thing that is my baby, so to speak, where I'm focusing most of the time on are the suite qualities. Really then the aspects that we have translated towards you as customers and partners as our dedicated integration aspects. There is a lot of stuff going on internally, which we usually not disclose, but people from management said, we need to talk about it to the outside world. Therefore, let's translate internally its technology guidelines, translate them into a story that can be told to our external guys, customers, and partners, there are these three qualities like seamless user experience, consistent security and identity management, and where we have dedicated information available for you on a website that will be shared afterwards, and where we outline and prove that we dedicatedly focus on integration aspects rather than on feature and function development. Next one, Manya. And where it primarily goes together is this end-to-end process blueprints, where we also now started to include the Signavio story. I don't know, personally, a quarter ago or almost half a year, I started to talk to my Signavio friends and ask them, hey, your portfolio is definitely something that we should explicitly put into the integration story. How can we do that best? And here we started with this end-to-end process blueprints story, also to be shared afterwards. There's a dedicated deck on our community topic page that I would refer to later on. Next one. And here we have an example. Until the point where we haven't exclusively or put Signavio into the game, the picture looked, and it's still true, looks as follows for the recruit to retire business process. That's the way how we position our integrated portfolio towards you from the very beginning of such a business process, where you would like to attract your workforce, potential workforce, and at the end of this business process, there would be then the sequence of paycheck and closing and engagement with a workforce or with an employee due to retirement or whatever reasons. And as you can see here, there is S/4HANA underneath is just a little box. And there are so many others like SuccessFactors, Fieldglass, and Concur that bring me back to the point where I said we definitely need to improve our integration efforts and need to put dedicated resources into that game to make sure that SuccessFactors, Fieldglass, and Concur work better together with, and that they work in the same way with the business technology platform, as we can see it here with the gray box, and where we then again have the suite qualities as the must have things to be adopted by our line of business solutions, such as Fieldglass, SuccessFactors, and the others. And where we, before we started to incorporate the Signavio story in our little deck, had quote unquote only the SAP API Business Hub as the user interface of choice, where we already have the various business processes available for you as blueprints. So as we believe, and also from the feedback of our customers, how things should initially look like, so that you get an idea, all right, this is what SAP is offering to me. And here I get an idea how to get from a certain business step to the underlying software solution down to an API and its specification. Therefore, the API Business Hub is really a UI to be visited by you. Next one. And it becomes now much, much better than since we have Signavio and the Process Transformation Suite in the game, where we do not only offer blueprints, but where we offer a portfolio, and that's more or less my last statement, and then I leave it to the real experts, where we then have a portfolio that relies on what we as a product management team or the guys being in charge for the intelligent enterprise story and say, look, this is standard. This is what we already have available for you. And now, as every business process is an integrated one, but at the end, it's a unique one for customer A. It's a unique one for customer B. Therefore, modifications, adaptations need to be done, which you will learn from the next slides. And therefore, I'm so happy that we have now Signavio on board, really to facilitating the story, not only remaining with integrated business process blueprints, but really offering integrated business processes that are fitting to your needs. Over to you, ladies.
So, and that brings us back to getting the grips on your transformation while utilizing business process management or also business process analysis. And when we look at SAP Signavio, some might have seen this. For some people, this is brand new. And SAP Signavio is all and everything we do is about a faster time to insight and a faster time to adapt. And that translates to faster time to insight, like finding out the broken things, finding out what works, what doesn't work, what's making or breaking your business, and then actually seeing on like help of benchmarks and stuff what you can improve. And really kind of like taking your business, check it against 20 others in your industry, in your size, and get an understanding of, okay, I thought I'm doing best practice, but I'm actually not. You know, I'm running late and my processes are too long, and I should improve certain process performance indicators. And then once you know that, you know, just knowing that things are broken is one thing, but the real art and where you really win as a company is when you get faster time to adapt, like faster into action, bringing the speed to the street and actually transforming faster, sparing yourself the thunder of trialing and error, of continuously, you know, finding out, is this working or not? You can just leverage what you learned and your insights, use benchmarks, recommendations, value accelerators, so actual existing best practice content to get faster, like to really get to best practice faster, and not only stay best practice, but use the time that you saved to become a winner in your market segment. And because this is what we want you to do, you know, it's not just becoming faster in learning things and faster in adapting things and then winning the prize for being fast. You know, what you actually want to achieve is being a winner in your market segment, really being best in class. And that is what SAP Signavio is bringing to the table as a joint project. But when we look at business transformation platform like BTP and Signavio customers together, so Carsten, before you off the hook and you know, can answer all the chat questions that are coming in, and please everybody, you can write us questions on the chat. We're going to see them and answer them, trying to answer them on the run and also at the end of the webcast, so feel free to drop us your questions. And Carsten, question to you as an expert. So looking at BTP and SAP Signavio, what do you see like customers struggling with? What are the biggest challenges?
Good one. There were missing guidance in the beginning, how to really set up your end-to-end business processes. Especially my team did a lot of work by improving it. There is this integration solution advisory methodology thing, which we also have linked on our community topic page, where you really get then the building blocks already semantically put together, that you really get an idea, oh, I need to consider X, I need to consider Y. This missing guidance has now being started to overcome. It's not only that it is available in a PowerPoint kind of way that was in the past. We even improved it and generated a service out of it, so that you really get automated guidance in setting up your business process. Point number one. And as I said, the fragmentation of the LOB solutions that we faced in the past was really hindering our customers to get things done in the way they wanted to see it. That's much better now, but things are evolving, and it's a continuous thing. These suite qualities are moving targets, so to speak. We started with them, and we also we run different waves. We started with wave one, and people who carefully followed our positioning of the suite qualities may recognize that the suite quality aligned domain models evolved to aligned domain models, APIs and events. So where we got feedback, and again, it's because of the interaction with our customers, we got feedback. It's good that you made these one domain model as a topic to where things need to be improved in exchanging master data. But there are also other things that you guys from SAP should consider, such as APIs when it comes to bilateral communications between LOB solutions, where you not necessarily need to follow the one domain model path, so to speak. And the same is true for events. And this missing integration has now been overcome more and better, where you guys then, I repeat myself, really benefit with your portfolio by positioning SAP as an end-to-end solution provider. This is where we lost track, to be honest, to the outside world in the past, and where people said, "Hey, that was the key differentiator and the strength of SAP, providing end-to-end solutions, providing corresponding business content." And because of the many products that we have, we somehow lost that traction. And this is what we are actually primarily focusing on, getting back to the point where we really bold and capital letters offer end-to-end scenarios to our customers in the way we did it before.
So my superhero fan inner child would say SAP to the rescue. We're happy to help. And the way we do it, and Kirsten, thank you for lining this out, is when we look at transformation. So regularly, this is the reality of any transformation. We all have seen this in our past, and regardless of business or IT or system transformation, this is what it normally looks like. Everybody is super hyped, and we're promising we're going to do something great. That's why it's called the hype cycle. And we're setting up project managers and program managers and time plans and Gantt charts or whatever we use in kinds of task tracking. But in the end, we always end kind of with a frustration area. And this is because transformations are very long. They take some time. It's hard to oversee everything that can happen in the very beginning. And what we try to achieve with SAP Signavio is turn your transformation into something that looks more like this. It's really continuously monitoring the impact, detection of opportunities, also of missed opportunities or things that you can still improve, and actually offering a greater value towards the end, so that starting from you discover your actionable items and potentials, that you are more on an even, not so much curve, but that you're on an even path of success and really offering a better value to your overall transformation. And last but not least, even if the IT transformation, like the technical part is done, that we look into things continuously. And as I like to say, my title contains marketing. So people, please don't believe me. Everything I say is marketing. That's my job. And advertising and making things look pretty, also addressing messages. But this is not what I say or share or think. This is what our customers, quote unquote, say about us and what it is offering to them. And as you can see, this is Coca-Cola or Hochland or WFF. So we are really into making things work. And for example, for Hochland, it's like SAP S4HANA and SAP Signavio solutions created transparency across operational processes and systems, as well as their synergies. And this is the quintessence of everything that we like to tell you today, with slides and, if you like, follow-up demos or more some greater engagement of what the products can actually do for you, and eventually also trying them and get your hands onto it. But as said, don't believe me, believe our customers. There's where this is coming from. There's many more. And this is also a time where we look into what SAP Signavio is really. So we saw our, we call it infinity loop already. And this is more the methodology on how can you do this? How can you tackle your entire transformation? It's the knowledge of many. It's based on over 150,000 SAP customers. So really the way to transform, the ways to look at things, benchmarking, this all comes together in methodology around SAP Signavio. But then we also offer you the technology, the toolbox. But on top of that, and since January this year, also value accelerators, or more easy word for this is pre-existing and pre-prepared content that you can download, leverage, and then shorten your time to improvement significantly. So this is getting us to a bit of a closer look into any transformation. So faster time to insight, faster time to adapt, you keep that in mind. But we always have to look at the three things in alignment. So it's processes, people, and systems, and really having this as a continuous loop. And Alex, this is where you come in. And for everybody, when you missed the introduction, Alexandra is not only a VP of customer success within SAP Signavio, but we recruited Alexandra back in the days as one of our customers. So we basically, she was such a great user and customer giving us continuous feedback that we recruited her from the spot because we wanted her experience and her knowledge on our end of the game. So Alex, and I like you to be part of this today more as the voice of the customer, of what you know from your user time back in the days, and also what you see within the community with our customers are struggling with. And looking at this, bringing business and technology together. So within your experience so far and what you heard from our customers, why does that link matter so much? Why is this so important?
Thanks, Manja. It's a really good question. But let me start maybe really from my experience and also what I'm hearing. What's out there actually with talking about processes and systems. And the link you can see already in the middle of the center we are talking about people at the end. But of course, talking about transformations, it could be systems driven, it could be process driven, it could be both. But in the reality, I hope, you think it's the same like me. Sometimes it's really coming from the IT or the business. It's not coming from the both. So when we talk about transformation or also just improvement projects, so then we have to make a deep dive into our processes. We are changing processes. It could be with systems, it could be also without systems, but at the end, we need also to touch the system. When we want to talk about process automation, when we would like to see performance indicators, process data, then we have always to get also the systems connected to the processes and vice versa. And the link, why it's so important and why it matters, is because we have the people at the center. When we are changing the processes or the systems, we need also to bring people directly on board to show them what has changed. How can we help them, then the people, to understand why the process or why the system has changed. And especially, and I think you know this as well, like a lot of people out there, the people who are directly sitting or touching the process, they know the best how to improve it. So this is like from my side, why the link matters most, that you have people at the center and you always should touch processes and systems at the same time.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. And at least bottom line of what you said is basically, every transformation also implies changes, also implies things being touched and converted or transformed or changed. And change is never easy. And especially if you are doing this continuously, people lose the hunger of change, lose the understanding of why do we need to do this? Why does this matter? And we now show you how a little bit. So we're going to walk you through a couple of slides here on how to actually do this and how to actually achieve this. And, when we talk about faster time to insight, we have two institutions and two products or two solutions, let's say it like that, that really help you to get an understanding. So it's SAP Signavio Process Insights and SAP Signavio Process Intelligence as the process analysis tools. And we include like root cause analysis and like general process performance indicators and also process mining into this entire space, depending on what your core technology is right now. So for if you are an ECC customer, Process Insights is applicable to you. And if you are no longer an ECC customer, it's Process Intelligence that you go with. You can combine both in like a shared value, but what you actually achieve is like get actionable improvement potentials and recommendations. So really, as you can see in those little screenshots, you get highlighted areas of, hey, this is red, this is not working. You need to look into that. You're above the benchmark. You can derive clear priorities. You can, discover process flows, analyze conformance and variances with process intelligence. And the most important things is that the first results can be given to you within 24 hours. So it's not like months and months of analysis and waiting, talking, sitting in meetings, and really evaluating things in Excel spreadsheets or PowerPoints. So, spare yourself that pain and try to get process insights up and running. There's a tool that you can test. It's process discovery that gives you already some sneak peeks of how this can look like. But we're happy to give you an intro on this, on these areas, and also the things that you can find out. So again, within 24 hours, you get your first results of where to go and what to change. So this can spare you already a couple of months. And this is where you should look at the very beginning. And we're going to get there throughout the presentation of when should you actually start with your analysis? When should you actually look into this? And, drilling down to what else can you do and how do we get to the faster time to adapt phase? This is where products like Process Manager or SAP Signavio Process Governance come into play, where you can actually model your processes and connect with what Carsten said in the beginning. So really go connect to your S/4HANA stages or Ariba, or have things displayed on how you interact with other systems. And there's some layers that you can include here. So it's BTP and SAP Build that we're connecting to, and many others. And then also the way you operate, how you look at your core, like keeping your core clean. It's a big motion the last 2 years, clean core movement of making things more easy to update. And I mean, we're SAP and we know we have to do some homework on the clean core movement. So we're allowing you with process management to prepare for that even better. And then also the core application layer around S/4HANA, SAP Ariba, SuccessFactors. You can bring this all together now in your process management motions. And one step further down the line is a topic that is very new to SAP Signavio. It's called value accelerators. And this is actually accelerate your time to value or use preset content to actually get faster on things you want to achieve, on best practice processes, on predefined connectors, data models, templates, good practice process models, and really save time on creating all this and invest the time that you saved in pure excellence plays and pure process and operational excellence. And looking into that, Alex, looking at value accelerators, they are a key element to guide our customers now within transformations and allowing them to really speed up their game. How would that have changed your life as a process officer back in your active days? Let's say it like that.
It's really a good point. I would love to have that in the past. But let me explain why. And you already explained a little bit, how can it work? So we have different scenarios, how you could, like having these workarounds, starting a transformation. You could sit with hundreds of process manager, process stakeholder in a room, modeling ACES processes, which sometimes, of course, you need, but have a look on the whole process landscape. This could last also years. Then with heavily costs and time efforts, then talking about to-be processes, sometimes or most often coming from the system when you would like to have everything 100% standardization, which is often not the case as well. But what's happening about best practices in the market, maybe per industry as well, what you would like to know. And I'm just thinking about a lot of years, kind of 10 years ago, there exists already something little, really little tiny, which we bought actually, because we said, okay, look, we would like to save money, we would like to save time. We need to accelerate the whole project. It was a little project at that time. And to be honest, process insights, process intelligence, nothing exists at that time. So we are really talking about the last 10 years, a lot of good things happened. And yeah, we bought it because we had something there. And now look on the best practice you could maybe take, maybe from the industry, automotive, textile, retail. If you could get the best practice with one click and have a look and compare, of course you need to have a look on that. You need to have your workshops, meetings to bring also the people on board, but you still have an accelerator there which you could use. And this accelerator, I would love to use it at that time, but unfortunately it was 10 years ago or 5 years ago.
But thank you, Alex, for being the reality check on here, because it's not just, downloading the Value Accelerator and off you go. Thank you for bringing the reality into this, that you still need those meetings, alignments, and kind of like comparisons in between, the best practice, ideal world and your individual customized process. And of course, everybody needs to be on board and kind of interact with this, collaborate on the changes. And, even if you're using a best practice process or, a snippet of the process, then you still need to find your individual best and have agreement on how could that look like. Okay, but coming from this and, this very far away and artificial loop, let's break this down into some of the more realistic steps and looking into a continuous move. And we're going to speed up our game a little bit. I'm not going to read all the little details to you. We're going to share the slide deck in the end. But what I want you to see in this is actually that there's a continuous flow of improving processes and improving systems. Even though if you've done your initial transformation, you still have to go through the same steps over and over again. You should do this continuously. And ideally, you start with analyze the process, like really identify improvement potentials, and then start to enhance your processes, start to look at automation potentials, start to look at process performance indicators before you even start designing new processes and approval workflows and some governance and compliance pieces that you want to integrate or update. And then on the system side, really adjusting the design solution or the build and test and also deploy a solution around this and work within S/4HANA and really make your theoretical processes work in practice. And then go back to enable a process and really have an active change management, feedback loops, and feedback of people within the process management tools, so that actually whoever wants to give you feedback on a process is using the tool itself as a collaborator, offering their input. And then, Alex, talking about this, so successful organizations establish a continuous process transformation lifecycle. And when we look at our customer base, and I think you're seeing customers on a very regular as a community VP. So when you engage with them and on this continuous approach, what do you see happening? Is this a standard? Is this growing more? Is this becoming something more normal? Or, what is the status on continuous process transformation?
Of course. Actually, I think a lot of organizations and also people know that this is important. The reality, unfortunately, is sometimes that over the years, because it's a journey, when we talk about continuous process transformation, it's not a project that you have a start and end date. You have a continuously journey in front of you. And sometimes with the time, what's happening, you're losing the focus on that. It's not good. I think we all know that, but this is happening. So we have over and over more organizations who look on these continuous improvements, on continuous also process transformation, because when we see also what happened just the last 2 years, unfortunately, with externally what's coming in, and when you have to act fast, you have to act, you have to be flexible on the markets, just maybe also to survive, or also to be at the end the best in the industry. You have to act flexible, you have to act fast, and therefore you need really continuous process transformation. And this is so important than never before. It's still important, and it will be always important, but yeah, this is like the reality. Please do not lose the focus on that. And this is happening, unfortunately, as well.
Forgot to unmute myself. Thank you, Alex. And sorry, that's a standard that has to happen at least once within a webcast. So, thank you, Alex, for your insight. And I couldn't agree more. It's really, now more than ever important to continuously check on your performance and to know what's actually happening within your systems, and also with your processes. Is there variations? If yes, why? And why are we looking into people doing a standard process differently, or why in a different country you need a different approach? But double clicking into that and getting more into the grips of how you actually do this. So looking at the analyze and enhance process phase, we really want you to understand that, it's key is to get faster to things. So to faster understand where you're living in terms of your KPIs, how can you improve like anything data driven? So it's no longer guessing, it's no longer gut feelings. It's really no longer the business thinking like, oh yeah, everything is good, but this is broken, and this is because of, the system is failing. And then the system people or the IT people are saying like, look, absolutely not true, because our systems are up and running. But this is going to allow you to actually get grips on the real reasons behind things not working or working really good. So, both ends of the candle are important. And then you get to a data-driven approach, like all in, and that you make this a data-driven optimization potential movement, so that this is really getting the core of everything you do, that you find out about quick fixes faster, that you can clean up things that are broken and not do them again, most importantly, and also educate people within the organization of, look, this is broken, this is how we're going to change it, and this is the new process. And this is the advantage of SAP Signavio, that we have something called SAP Signavio Process Collaboration Hub. This really means the hub is where people get together, where people can communicate, where they get notifications, and where they can exchange on things changing or improving. We want to determine business value and improvement potentials. So really, remember the first two questions that I asked them, like, what is your journey that you're on, and what is successful? This is the area where you define this, what does successful look like? And then actually, and lastly, to look at best practices. So you don't have to trial and error to find your best practice. You can actually look at a best practice compared to your existing as is processes, and then move from there. So you save yourself some time on everything. So Alex, when looking into, again, your active years, and if I would have told you back in the days that you can have all this, you can have a data-driven approach with insights, benchmarks, and improvement potentials within like 14, 15 minutes from installation, what would you have done to get that?
It's a good question. Of course.
Oh, we're losing you. You are frozen, and till you're back, we're just gonna move on to the next slide. And once you're back, we have you answer the question, and we're gonna move back a little bit. But I hope it's not me freezing. So if I'm lost in this, somebody has to shoot me a note. But moving on to the next step in our process, looking into the designing processes and really defining a customer journey. And with that, we mean it's not what we think in marketing, like a customer journey and how many emails do we send them. It's really actually the entire end-to-end journey of how your customers are engaging with your processes, and also how your people and how your suppliers, like how your employees and how your suppliers are engaging with your processes. And you can collaboratively define and model the as-is processes, but also the to-be processes, and then look into business requirements or approvals that are needed to change a certain process. So actually really get in a design phase where you can not only define one process, but then also understand the linkage of all processes together that your customer is going through from end to end, kind of like get data-driven insights on that, including SAP Signavio Collaboration Hub, so your internal feedback and your internal employees engaging on things, but also products like SAP Signavio Journey Modeler, where you model your entire process landscape and then have, for example, process intelligence linked to Journey Modeler and get data-driven insights on how happy customers are with a certain process detail or with a certain stage within that journey. And moving forward, we're getting to the now here purple area of designing the solution, like building a solution, testing everything, deploy the solution, and then enable the process. This is where we really more look at S/4HANA, like at the real implementation. This is where we connect to SAP Solution Manager. This is also where we work with Enable Now to actually get the process integrated into your business, to perform solution changes through backlog and DevOps pipelines, to actually, get the change into your life environment before you then go to be in this continuous cycle of things. And Alexandra is still not back, so Tanya, can you give me a sign that I'm still good, or am I the broken link here?
No, you are perfectly fine.
Okay, thank you. That's because when we are in, webcast talking to ourselves, we sometimes don't know.
You are on mute now, Manja.
Classic, I muted myself. So I'm sorry, but welcome back, Alex. We just moved on with the presentation, and no worries, the technical issues are real with, doorbells and wonky internet. So we are in this design phase where we're looking more at the S/4HANA implementations. And I see, Carsten, you're back here, and Alex, you're back. So really, when we're connecting the systems to become more as an SAP solution and where we work together. And I think this is where we see the biggest value with our customers, is really understanding what Carsten talked about earlier of, BTP as the platform and cloud ERP on top, and then actually really linking everything together and making everything work. And moving on, we're getting to the last part, is where SAP Signavio supports every step of your S/4HANA implementation, is the continuous part. And this is where we're writing this message quite a bit today. And this is, as of the series, when you go into the other sessions, this is really where it becomes important, of like the continuous optimization, the process execution, like really rethinking, redesigning your processes, and becoming a more intelligent, more sustainable, and more importantly, more resilient enterprise in the end. To make this a little bit easier, I have one slide for you for the goal-oriented, structured people. This is more of like when we look at a transformation and as an implementation in a more linear way, and we're translating this into the activate phases that some of you may know. It's more the phase 0 is the analyze and the design phase. So actually really looking into analyzing processes, designing processes. Then phase A is more the building, rolling out in the end, and then continuously improving. We mapped some of our products to those phases, so we're happy to give you more details and more demos on each of one of them. But for today, just got a little pain that I have to speak faster and less words, is, how can you actually make this your reality? There's a little overview of the SAP Signavio transformation suite, and I'm not going to dive into every single detail, but whatever we told you today is really starting with the business accelerators, with SAP Signavio Process Explorer as the best practice content that you can actually explore yourself on our website. If you go to signavio.com and you look for SAP Signavio Process Explorer and you have an SAP ID, you can check out best practice content for free today, right now, after this webcast. And all the other products are always in a more circular approach. There's no right or wrong beginning, really, but it's showing you the collection of everything together. And when we're looking into why and how we are supporting you and what we can do for you, there's some key capabilities just as a summary for today. And Alex, I know you have a favorite capability, so can you share which one is that and why?
It's not easy because all of them are awesome and important, and it always depends at the end where the organization is, where the organization would like to be with the strategy. But when I'm talking about my favorite one, am I allowed to pick two? It's actually process journey modeling, but of course also in combination with process collaboration. I can tell you also why. It's coming from different sides and also perspectives. What would you like to achieve? But I used it also for Lean Six Sigma projects. So I love to use process modeling, bringing the process as a picture in the workshop, discussing it. It's saying more than 1,000 words. Everyone is understanding directly the picture of the process. You can see the stakeholders, the IT system, everything, and you directly understand also where the pain points are. And especially in the process modeler, there's a simulation feature. So for Lean Six Sigma projects, you could simulate the process life cycle, everything what you need, the cycle time, maybe also the quantity of waste, and have a look on that if you build this with your process attributes. Also for audits, talking about maybe sustainability, energy management system, when you have audits, you could use the process modeler for that as well with process documentation. But now why I'm saying in combination with the process collaboration, you can work virtually across organization, across countries, across borders, with everyone. And this is, of course, to change to going to the process-oriented mindset, talking with everyone on this picture, on the process, asking everyone can see also the comments, can talk to each other on one platform, one single source of truth. And this is, of course, making everything a huge benefit that you have all the process landscapes with all processes behind in one tool. And this is why I used or implemented twice Signavio within the last 10 years.
And I couldn't have said that any better. So, for all of you, I'm not going to go read through this slide because Alex already summarized it quite well. In the end, why should you choose SAP Signavio Process Transformation Suite? There's some clear answers to that, but basically, I'm coming back to where we started. It's a faster time to insight and a faster time to adapt. And it's allowing you to just get to your personal best and improve continuously at a much faster scale and much more effortlessly. The session today was the beginning of a series, so there's way more details and also demos and double clicking into some of the areas that we looked today. And Carsten, I think with that, I hand over to you for a last summary and for today's session.
Okay, thank you. So as it is, first of all, about the SAP Signavio portfolio, then first touch point would be here, the SAP Signavio community topic page, the link that you can see here under point number 1. Also, you may look into the SAP integration strategy community topic page, which is a bit more holistically looking into the topics, not only looking into Signavio and the aspects that they bring into the game, but also all the other things, the suite qualities and so forth are outlined there. Also other offerings around the intelligent enterprise efforts that we are underway with. And if not already too late, may at the end of this Open SAP course, it's actually still running, ending this week. If there's some time left, would be require, I don't know, few more hours, but it will be also then be available afterwards as a self-paced open SAP course. This Open SAP course about SAP's integrated intelligence suite, which is nothing else than the stuff that I tried to explain in the first 5 to 7 minutes in more detail, where you get the BTP details, the suite qualities, the business processes, and what's all behind the setup of them. And finally, if you say, hey, I'm still a new kid here, I do not really know how to start with educating myself about what's SAP doing in terms of intelligent enterprise, then point number 3 should be your starting point. 8 pages long or a bit longer strategy paper. This is point number 3, where you get each and everything, not only high level, 10,000 meters height, but bit more closer down to earth, where you already get into the details. So this strategy paper is always a good starting point and highly recommended by me, by us. With that, I would say it's going back to Tanya, isn't it, for saying the final words?
Great. Thank you so much. But
You're
first of
welcome.
all, I would like to thank all experts, all speakers today for your really excellent and really, it was a fun, well, or a joy to listen to this interactive session. I really enjoyed it very much. And I trust our attendees, whom I would like to thank so much for joining us today. You also had a lot of fun listening to our 3 experts today. And we do not have a question in the chat, actually, but I have one which I get often from the user groups, and that is, so where should I start my transformation?
We should take that.
You can go, Carsten. I go in later.
Yeah, being with this intelligent enterprise program, product management team, high-level information, first start to get to know what is the strategy that SAP is pursuing, or what is the strategy that SAP is helping that our customers will pursue in the future with their digital transformations. It would be the community topic page that I referred to. When it comes then to the transformation as such, definitely what Alex and Manya said, the websites where you then at the end really get in touch with the portfolio and with the solutions from Signavio would be, to my opinion, the starting point to kick off your transformation project. And as I'm just to some extent the expert of that, and I would leave it to you, Alex, to round it up and what your thoughts are on that.
Thank you. Actually, the question is coming a lot, where to start. And sometimes the discussions where to start could last also years. I saw this as well. So it's just a recommendation. It doesn't matter where you start. Just give it a start. It doesn't matter where, but just start. Maybe tomorrow, it doesn't matter. But you have to bring the, I would say the whole process of continuous business process transformation, you have to give it a start and a kickoff. And at the end, you saw the infinity loop. At the end, you will go through the whole infinity loop. And also with integration strategy, you will touch everything. And if you start with analyzing processes, if you start with enabling, enhance, or it doesn't matter, just get it. Yeah, just go and start. This is what I would to recommend.
Yeah. I agree.
Great, thank you so much. So we are actually nearly on top of the hour, and if no other question pops up, I would thank you so much again for your excellent presentation. Thank you to our attendees for joining. And I definitely hope to see you again next week for our next session. And with this, I would like to wish all of you a great day. See you again soon. Bye-bye.